Hey, so we're back here with the E30 in the barn again, and today is the first big day of trying to get this thing running right. We're gonna do the timing belt, the water pump, the thermostat, and all the other little gaskets and stuff. We just got tensioner pulley, crank seals, the camshaft pulley seals on the back. So yeah, let's get started. Pull this hood off, drain the coolant, and start taking stuff out. All right, so we got this ugly hood off. Just those few bolts right there, and then the little gas strut thing. Here she is. So let's get to work on pulling this radiator out. First, we gotta get the fluid out. So get the front of the car up and pull that little bleeder port out. All right, so I've got the front of the car up in the air. I'm gonna grab a screwdriver and we're gonna drain the coolant out from the little port right here. And this is some nasty coolant. So hopefully it all comes out and doesn't like chunk up in there. But we got a bunch of new coolant and I'm willing to flush it a few times after all this stuff goes back together. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, it's just like goo. It's getting more viscous, a little more water-like. Let's pop the cap off. We should get a better flow. Oh, not really. This is probably gonna drain for a while. That's nasty. So, I have pulled the second drain plug for the coolant out of the side of the block back there. It's a 19 mil, and it came flying out. Oh, there it is, right there. So now this nasty coolant keeps coming out, and I'm just pouring some fresh water, fresh distilled water into the top of the cap, just flush it out, get that old gunk out. This coolant isn't supposed to be green, it's supposed to be the blue, which is what I have. So we're gonna try to not mix the two colors because they will get a little clumpy, clog up the radiator and stuff. So it's pretty nasty in there, but it's getting a little cleaner. So yeah, let's keep pouring distilled water in there. So we're looking a lot better. It looks like we're just coming out with clear water now. So I think we're good here. Gonna drain some more, bleed some more on the radiator bleeder port. Maybe pull this hose off and start dumping straight into the radiator. But for now, I'm gonna cap that off, figure out what to do with all that coolant. I guess I'll put some in here. It's not gonna all fit in here, but yeah, let's figure this out some more. Okay, so we got the upper radiator hose off. Goes from there to there. In here's the thermostat. And I'm just gonna take all these off and just remember where they go. And then we'll pop the radiator out and then we'll take the fan off. So that'll all help us get to the timing belt. All right, so a little update here. I've got the alternator pulled off, all the auxiliary belts, the bracket. This is the timing cover. Got the distributor cap there, coolant hoses and stuff. All the spark plug wires goes into the distributor cap. Yeah, our belt is looking pretty rough. Not too bad, but pretty rough. So we're just gonna keep cleaning these things as they come off. All right, little check-in again. I think I'm like to the part where I'm gonna start putting stuff back together. The timing belt's all off, everything's all lined up, top and bottom. New seals, got some hardware for the new water pump, wherever it is. There's the old one over there, it's all nasty. I don't really see how that water pump could go bad, but putting a new one in. Oh, I need to put my new thermostat in. So it started raining outside, so I had to close the barn doors. I had it all set up so that I could just like have all my stuff out here. It was sunny when I started and had the car right here. So I didn't think if I had to close the doors, kind of close quarters in here, but it's all right. Got the timing belt covers back on, harmonic balancers back on, water pumps in. I need to put the pulley on the end of the water pumps, then we can put the fan on and the belts on. So yeah, it's coming together. Then I need to do the coolant. Yeah, this is kind of more than I was expecting, but it's pretty easy. So this metal coolant hose was completely bent. These tabs were completely bent somehow. I don't know how, but it tightened up and it just straightened out. That's super nice. All right, I think I'm close to being done. I've got everything back together, but the spark plug wires plugged back into the distributor yet. Radiators in, coolant lines are all hooked up. A couple of them are starting to crack. I should have gotten new ones, but I'm sure I'll be back in there shortly. So I'm just gonna clean up and make sure I'm not missing anything. And then I'm gonna plug things back in, pour some coolant into the car and start it up. And fingers crossed, everything is fine. But if everything's not fine, I might be okay with that. So got the spark plug wires all plugged in. I'm gonna start pouring some distilled water into my expansion tank and turn it on. And I have like 8 more gallons of distilled water. So I'm gonna keep pouring that in and maybe come back tomorrow and flush it one more time. But I'm probably not gonna add coolant until I think it's ready or done to be being messed with, or after I get some new coolant lines. I guess that's coming from my water pump. That's great. I thought that seal went together good. Where? Oh, it's coming from above the water pump. Okay. Oh, there's a little line in there. No, that's got to be more than just that. Okay, well, I guess we'll just turn it on. Okay, first time sitting in the seat today. Let's see what happens. This is an interference motor, so if the timing is not right, we're done. But I did spin the crank a few times and it did turn over. So here we go. There we go. It's running. It works. All right, so we're back again. A few days after I just did the timing belt, we had that coolant leak, and it was literally this hose was just loose. They're all super nasty. I need to replace them. I need to order them, but going back to school soon, so it can wait. So yeah, I just tightened it up and it stopped leaking, but back again to flush the coolant again because it's pretty nasty in here. I'm not sure how all this got in there, but it's just like, it's just dark, nasty stuff, and there's like dirt in it, if you can see, and that's no good. So we're gonna try to fix that. All right, I have learned since last time, draining the coolant out of the block from back there, have the freaking drain pan ready, because this thing, it just comes out. I have the cap to the expansion tank up there on still, so there should be some vacuum or some back pressure, so all the water isn't gonna just come out of that bolt up there, because last time it went all over the exhaust, all over everything. There's still, that's like that, yeah, coolant right there from a week ago. Not quite a week ago, but it sucked. Yeah, see, we got a little bit of drippage. And we take the vacuum off this. See, you can hear it. So I can regulate it a little bit with that. It's pouring out good. Pretty clean. I think we're doing all right. And then the radiator will be next again. It's kind of nice to know exactly what I'm doing here since I've done this a few days ago. There's a little bit of a struggle doing it blind, but now I know. And look how nicely that water drains right out. Right in between those two bars. And while the coolant is still draining, I am just gonna keep adding some water just to keep flushing it out, because I have a bunch of it and I bought like 9 gallons to do this, so I might as well actually do it. So I don't want to have to take all this water home, so we're just gonna keep flowing it. Just let her clean herself out. I wonder if there's some coolant cleaner that I could put in this. It's just nasty. At least it's coming out clear. There's just dirt in there. Sucks. Brand new water pump and stuff. It's all gunked up probably. But we're all right. All right, I got all the coolant out of the car. Here's the original coolant. That's most of it. It's absolutely disgusting. It's super thick. It's like weird. This is the second and the third, and this is all one batch really. But it's disgusting. That's what's going in. This is what's coming out. All right, it's been idling for a little bit. Let's see if this thing can hit rev limiter, just cause. Yeah. All right, so I guess that wraps up this video. We still have the hood off. It's over here. We did timing belt, water pump, thermostat, all the seals and stuff in the front of the motor. It sucked. It took like 8 hours. 9 hours that one day when it was raining. And I go back to school now, so not sure what's gonna happen with this thing. I'll have to order some more parts and come back in like a month and keep going on it. I wanted to take it to Cars and Coffee tomorrow. I just went to AAA, try to get like a 1-day moving permit. They're like, you have to have like an appointment at a smog shop and some other stuff to get a 1-day moving permit. And I'm like, that sucks. So, yeah, spring break it is. This thing's going to Cars and Coffee, I guess.